Good afternoon. I'm Amy Jackson, President of the Catoosa County Chamber of Commerce, and we welcome you to Catoosa Connects. Today I've got Alex Harrison here with me with Catoosa County Parks and Rec.
Yep.
And welcome to Catoosa County. First of all, you're kind of new to the county, being an employee.
About 2.5 months, but it's been an exciting time. You know, summer in Parks and Rec is always a busy time, but
Absolutely.
It's a good problem to have. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and here to talk about one of those.
So every time I drive by Jack Maddox Park, oh my goodness, it is always packed.
Yes. So
and lots of things going on.
Yeah, that's a bit of a staple of ours. You know, we like to talk about all of the facilities in the system, but Jack Maddox is a really big 65-acre facility with all of the events going on there. That's basically every single weekend.
And y'all do baseball and softball there, right? Is that correct?
Yes,
because I think on 4th of July weekend there's a big softball tournament. Is that true?
So it's been moved, thankfully, which frees up our staff to help because we're expecting so many people to come to the Fireworks Fest. But we do have softball tournaments and baseball tournaments there regularly that both our department runs, and we rent out to outside event operators as well.
And I know a lot of people don't know, but if you've ever driven by there, that's also where the Parks and Rec office is. Is that correct?
It is. So just up the road there, a couple houses down, our admin building is there. We've got a reception desk that we sell discs for our disc golf course out of, and then we rent out the voting precincts for the county out of that office, as well as some pavilions and other parks.
And I get a lot of calls about that at the chamber. If you've never rented out the voting precincts, they're it's just a nice perk of our county. They're great buildings for family get-togethers. My understanding is you can't sell anything, so you can't have like a Mary Kay party or something like that and sell anything. But they have kitchens.
They do.
Refrigerators, ice makers.
Tables and chairs are provided. And
all you got to do is clean it up, right? I mean,
exactly.
So is it still $40?
It's $40 with a $100 deposit for the key, but you bring everything, or you return it in clean shape and everything the way you found it, and you get your $100 back. $40 for a day is a really affordable rate.
Now, the one question I do have people ask me, do you have to be a Catoosa County resident to rent those?
You do.
Okay, so there you go. Catoosa County residents, it's a perk for you. We've used them for our family gatherings, you know, for whether it's Christmas or birthdays. We've done graduation parties. And how many there are several that are rentable, is that?
So there's 10 in the county.
Okay.
Currently, they are shut down because of the potential for the runoff election, because of course their first use is for an election.
That makes sense.
Being a voting precinct, but we're hoping to open those back up after June, and there's 10 of them all spread throughout the county, so they're accessible to anybody that may want to rent one.
There you go. So Parks and Rec, they just do some great things. I know from my experience, the social media, Facebook, y'all put everything out there.
Yes.
The programs that you have going on, your staff does a great job, you and your staff, and a lot of things for all ages, right?
Yep. So we primarily offer youth programming right now in any active sense of the term. So team sports and programs are usually ages 4 to 18 right now, mostly 4 to 12, but we do offer things in the older ages as well. And then we've got pickleball for the senior demographic.
I was going to ask you. Okay, tell me about that. It is open to all ages. Tell me, so it's inside too, right?
It is. So we actually, tomorrow we're starting it back up. It was closed because of the elections, and all of our gyms are attached to a voting precinct. But tomorrow we're starting back up from 9 to 12, Tuesdays and Saturdays, at the Graysville gym at Graysville voting precinct and town hall there. It's free play. There's no charge to anyone. Is there some instruction
to it as well? Because I'll be honest, I don't know how to play pickleball, but we have rackets, so we're going to learn.
Yeah.
But I've heard it's really a good thing for people maybe not quite, as active as some others are. So it's for all ages, right?
I would describe it as maybe a slower, smaller tennis.
There you go.
It's indoors, like you said, so it's not as exposed to the elements. It can be warm in the gyms. We don't have air conditioning yet in that particular gym, so that's why we do it in the morning. But there are people well into their 80s, as well as we have grandkids of theirs come and enjoy it. They do it at summer camps. It's fun for all ages, as they say.
So do you just show up? Do you need to sign up? How does that work?
There's no pre-registration for it right now. If it got to the point that we would have to do that, it would be, like you said, posted on our Facebook page, but it's first come, first serve. We've got 2 courts set up in the gym, and there is an attendant there that knows the rules. It wouldn't be necessarily someone that's providing formal instruction, but they
might help you out a little bit.
They could help you out, and we're working on providing some instructional courses as well right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So stay tuned. So it's Catoosa County Parks and Rec. Check them out on Facebook. They have some amazing programs. The one that we're here today to talk about, though, is near and dear to my heart. So this is our third annual Fireworks Fest.
It is.
It's going to be the first one for you.
It will be.
But our county commissioners, during COVID, when we couldn't do much of anything, quite frankly, they set aside some money and paid for an amazing fireworks presentation, I guess you would, and this all kind of went along with it, and it's grown over the last 3 years. So educate me a little bit about kind of how it's working this year, because I know it's a little bit different. So
yeah.
I will say that morning, and we'll talk a little bit about this in just a minute, but the Chamber is hosting this will be our second annual Run White and Blue 5K and 1 mile fun run, and we hope you'll be a part of that. You can sign up at CatoosaChamberofCommerce.com/run. It's $30, and it's going to be early in the morning. So our event is at 8 o'clock in the morning, so we'll be finished by like 9:30, totally probably. So as it starts getting warmer, we'll be done. So we hope you'll be a part of the 5K, or at least come out and run and walk the 1K, and it'll be a great community time. And then again at 1 o'clock, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So at 1 p.m., the Colonnade's going to start with their Makers Market or craft show.
Which is inside, by the way.
Yes, during the heat of the day, thankfully, we'll have some air conditioning. There'll be, of course, the restrooms and concessions facilities there, but they're hoping for a really good turnout, 50 to 60 craft vendors and local businesses being represented there as well, not just all craft show things, but that'll be an element to add to. Like you said, it's an all-day event starting with your race in the morning. Then at 1 p.m. the Colonnade will open for the Makers Market. At 5, we're going to start with our children's activities and the food vendors. So we will have looking for a couple more food vendors still, but
was this like a food truck, an actual? Okay.
Yeah. So we've got 3 trucks and 1 kind of tent set up right now, and then we're waiting on 2 more trucks that have expressed interest, and we're probably going to book those as well.
Awesome.
But still space for some more if anybody's wanting to sign up as a vendor for that, as well as for the Makers Market. They've still got some space.
Yes, in the Makers Market, I got some information from the Colonnade today. They have a form that you need to fill out. So if you call the Colonnade 706-935-9000, I think they'll send you the form, but it's only $25 to rent a space, again, from 1 to 6. And looks like they're starting to move everything. You can load in about 10 a.m. that morning. So again, when it's a little bit cooler, they'll have carts and things like that, and they'll have a specific space. And usually they provide a table and chairs and things like that. I guess you can discuss exactly what you need for your business. But I didn't realize that you didn't have to necessarily have arts and crafts.
Right.
It could be just a business that in the area that wants to give out information, or a nonprofit or something.
Yes.
So that's good information if you'd like to be a part of the Makers Market at 1 o'clock on Saturday, July the 2nd. So be a part of this community event. I'm excited to hear about the more food trucks and more options. Pretty much last year, some caterers that were chamber members have done it, and they've run out of food every time. Between them and Chick-fil-A, I think that there might have been a few Chick-fil-A sandwiches left last year, but there weren't many, so that was a good thing. And I will tell you, if you've been on the Benton Place campus where the Colonnade is, if you see some construction there, that is the new Catoosa County Public Schools College and Career Academy that's being built. So obviously it'll be a little bit different this year, because that's usually where there was some parking and some craft vendors out that way last year, I know.
Right.
So kind
that
of where we
area shut down. It has changed the format or the layout of the event, but we will have our inflatables and kids activities in the field between the Colonnade and the health department there, as well as Ringgold Telephone Company will be there with some maybe more adult games. They'll have cornhole and things of that nature, so that it's fun for the parents while they're watching their kids on the inflatables at the Kids Zone, hoping to have some face painting or temporary tattoos for the Kids Zone as well.
Yep.
And then really close to the food trucks right there on the roadway between the Kids Zone and the amphitheater, where beginning at 6 o'clock we'll have live music. So they're starting off with the Hollanders to kick off the show, and then
that's just gospel. Y'all know the Hollander family.
And then at 7:15, the band Raven will be our second act of the night, followed by some announcements by our Board of Commissioners, and then past to present will close us out as the headliner for the show, and count down from there right into the fireworks show from pyro shows
About
at
9:30ish,
p.m.
yeah. So, and I will say, if there are folks that just don't want to deal with a large crowd, and you can be along Battlefield Parkway. So in the CHI Memorial parking lot, there on the Parkway, Chattanooga Allergy right in there would be an excellent location to see all the fireworks.
We'll actually have a shuttle service from the CHI Memorial Parkway location to the Benton Place campus provided by TransAid, so that if you maybe don't want to park on Benton Place campus, or if it fills up like we're expecting, we'll still be able to get people to and from the event.
Get those cars parked. So it's the third annual Catoosa County Fireworks Fest, and I'll hold this up. It's my fault I didn't send this in to Doug earlier, but it's on Saturday, July the 2nd. It's absolutely free. If you're purchasing food, obviously that there's a charge for that.
And some of the kids' zone activities will have a charge to them.
So the craft market or the makers market starts at 1. The live music and the children's activities and food is at 5.
Correct.
And then 9:30 is when the fireworks show will begin. So it's just a great community time. Again, that morning at 8 o'clock, we'll have the Run White and Blue. So a 5K and 1 mile fun run. So, then the way that'll work, also if you're not in that, but just maybe driving that morning along Old Mill Road, we will be blocking that off for a short period. The sheriff's office will be with us, and they'll obviously trying to keep everybody safe. But it'll be a very limited amount of time that we have that blocked off. So our race will come out of the Colonnade parking left onto Old Mill toward Battlefield Parkway, along Battlefield Parkway, and then right onto Pine Grove, and then back around to Old Mill. So a little bit of logistics there that morning about 8 o'clock. To plan for, just in case you need to be somewhere. Well, Alex, thank you. I hope you'll stick around for just a little while longer. We've got some other. So our member of the week, we talked about this just a minute ago. He said this could have been planted, but it really wasn't. Ryan Shrum, if you don't know Ryan, he is a runner. There's not a race that I see that he's not a part of.
Yeah.
Whether it's in this area or in the southeast, or
the whole nation.
I was going to say he just got back from the Boston Marathon, I think, not too long ago. But Ryan works for a company called Business Water Solutions. And so basically, they use, instead of the big jugs of water, they have water machines that are plumbed into a water line, and it filters the water and all that. So you don't have to do, have back trouble trying to load that big gallons, 5 gallons of water into a system. So Business Water Solutions is our member of the week this week, and Ryan Shrum. If you would like to get in contact with Ryan for more information, the number is 706-290-1881, or you can check it out at businesswatersolutions.com. And we appreciate Ryan is one of our chamber ambassadors, so we see him. In fact, we had a ribbon cutting earlier today. I've got to tell you, I don't know if you have been, so on Alabama Highway, there is a new store. These buildings have been there for a long time, and I think, in fact, this might have been where Southern Charm Clothing was at one point in time. But there's some brick buildings on Alabama Highway, just down from Food Line and all as you're going south. And there is a new, it's called Once Upon a Time, and it's vintage clothing and antiques and furniture. And she called it, what did she say? Check out the Chamber Facebook page. We did a video out there today as we did the ribbon cutting. But it's a very manly furniture. It's like heavy wood furniture and leather, and they have all kinds of accessories and things like that. Father's Day is coming up, of course, this weekend. And it would be a great place. They have beautiful paintings and just real ornate frames and things like that. But one of the things that you might, well, I don't know, you're probably good about not eating snacks, but there's a place in Chattanooga in East Brainerd called the Bread Basket. And the Bread Basket has amazing breads and muffins and cakes and things like that. And they actually are going to have Bread Basket products there on Alabama Highway at Once Upon a Time. So you don't have to drive all the way to East Brainerd to get these wonderful products. And so they had them there today, and they're all wrapped. You can just go in and pick out what you want and pay for it. But if, say, you want one of their cakes, you can look online and go in there or call them, and they'll order it for you, and you can pick it up here in Catoosa County. So,
or you can have a muffin while you shop for antiques.
Absolutely. And I might have had one of those today. I'm just going to say. It was delicious. I'll be honest, this is not good for me that the Bread Basket items are available in Catoosa County.
Too close to a couple of our parks as well, I think.
So I'm now I'm going to have to do that 5K because, there's that. So we did have that ribbon cutting today, again, at Once Upon a Time on Alabama Highway. Check out the Chamber Facebook page and just see. Bobby took some great video of some of the items in there, and in vintage like dresses and things like that as well. It's really, really neat. We have another ribbon cutting. We have another new chamber member coming up on Friday at 9 a.m. So we have a new chiropractor. You may have seen them in town, called The Joint Chiropractic. It won't surprise me if Corey and her gang show up at some of the sponsor some of your events, because they are all about the community. They like to be part of things. They've jumped in with both feet to get to meet people in our community. And we're going to cut the ribbon, and they've done a soft open. They're already open as we speak at 2713 Battlefield Parkway. It's kind of by Mean Mug and McAllister's Deli. Yeah. And I'll say Mean Mug has just joined the chamber too, so we'll be out there soon as well. So the Joint Chiropractic, 2713 Battlefield Parkway, or 706-744-1098. So tell us some things that maybe we can expect in the fall with Parks and Rec.
Yep.
I know y'all usually do Oktoberfest or a fall festival.
So we've got a fall festival, October 1st. This is the
it's
first
on the
Saturday.
calendar. Okay.
Yes. So we will actually be moving that. The plan is to move it from the Ringgold soccer facility,
where it was last year,
right, to Jack Maddox Park this year.
Ooh.
So it gives us a bigger footprint, some space to expand, maybe lots more parking, paved parking, which is always nice in the event that there's rain the week before.
And families love that. I mean, we've participated in that now for the last 2 or 3 years. So the chamber ladies, we usually, if we get to do it this year, that'd be great. They have the welcome tent, so we hand out the bags, and then the kids go to each booth and kind of do the trick or treating, I guess.
Yeah.
And we enjoy that so much. It's just a great community effort, and it's just fun to see. And it's affordable, so small businesses can afford to come out and promote their business. And I just appreciate y'all giving them the opportunity to do that.
And the plan this year is to kind of utilize the walking track for the hayride there, as well as try and station some of those vendor booths along the walking track and use the whole footprint of the park so that we can spread out. We've got communities and schools with their duck derby.
Okay, so they're going to do that as a part. Okay.
Yes.
So buy your ducks for when somebody comes and asks you to buy a duck. They don't mean a real one.
I will say I was not aware of the duck derby to begin with. And when it was being explained to me that there would be ducks sold at our fall festival,
you kind of thought it might be real?
Yeah, I was very confused at first. But
I can see that. I will say they used to put the ducks in the Ringgold Creek.
Right.
And I never was a part of that, but I can only imagine that it was hard to get all the little rubber ducks back out. Yeah. So this works out nicely, and you can kind of watch it a little bit better too. My duck last year, I will say, came in one of the top 10. I was pretty excited. It didn't win, but I was in the game. So it was fun. So buy your ducks when communities and schools. They do great things in our school system and help kids that just need a little extra. And so they do, a food pantry and a clothes closet at LFO and LMS, and they just provide some amazing programs for our students in Catoosa County. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. I had not heard that it was going to be moved over to Jack Maddox. So it's been a relatively recent decision, but we really think it'll give us a lot more space and maybe a better built-out facility for that type of an event, so we can have space to grow. That's great. Now, I'm going to be honest, that walking track there, we love that. And I know there's like a pond. Yes. Where are we on that? I should have asked probably before. Just hope it's not a sore subject, but I know inquiring minds want to know, don't you?
So the pond is, as far as the construction of it, is finished. It has not had time to really fill back up with maybe some stocked fish, or maybe the creek hasn't flooded enough yet to really stock it well yet. So we've had several people asking us if they're allowed to fish in it. You're more than welcome if you have a fishing license to fish in the pond, but we just can't necessarily promise there's a lot in it.
There may not be any big ones in there just yet, right? You got to grow them.
We've seen some alligator snapping turtles in there, so do be careful. Probably don't wade in barefoot, but the pond is good to go. It's helping with the remediation of some stormwater in the area, as well as providing a nice amenity to the boardwalk along the walking track of the park there.
That's exciting. So if you've not been down Old Mill Road by Jack Maddox Park, you kind of go right past it, and that's where the administrative Parks and Rec administration buildings is, and where also the disc golf.
I see people 9-hole disc golf course that is very popular, and that's a separate parking lot from the main
Right.
parking lot for the baseball and softball fields. So if you continue north a little bit on Pine Grove Road, maybe you can find a better parking space there. And Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30, we sell discs, like I said, in the office there. So if you haven't played before, you can buy discs in the office and just check out the 9-hole course, as well as the 1.2-mile walking track around the park.
It's beautiful.
It's
It's
a
lovely,
really
especially
scenic
with
walk.
the pond fix now. That's awesome, because it's just so nice. And I will say, we've been out there. We have just the starter kit of disc. I'll be honest, I'm not a disc golfer, although I'd like to be. But when they come out there with their big packs and there's
There are
like
some serious-
50 disc in a backpack kind of thing, I told my husband, I'm like, okay, we have just sit and watch.
They take it pretty seriously. I'm also not a serious disc golfer, but it's a great way to spend a Saturday afternoon and just go, walk the park, enjoy some nature, and get some exercise while you're at it as well.
Well, and they sell the discs there. I know another place that one of our chamber members is Battlefield Outdoors. He has some specialty discs that you can only get at his store. They
probably have a little bit better of a selection. We have some more.
So if you're a serious disc golfer, that's the place to go on to Highway 27, like you're going into the Battlefield, the Battlefield Outdoors by Park Place Restaurant. And I know there's like 2 or 3 lines that they are like the exclusive dealer of those in the Southeast. So.
Yeah. And they, I believe, still rent kayaks, so you could take advantage of the Blue Way with West and South Chickamauga Creek throughout. We've got several kayak and canoe launches along the creek system in the county that you could rent from Battlefield Outdoors, and I believe they would even have a shuttle service where they'll drop you off and pick you back up.
They do. They absolutely do. And now I know we do have a new kayak service in Ringgold, right? Kayak Ringgold, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay. And I don't know all the details about that.
Pleasure of meeting them
but
yet,
I know that we're talking like within the last 2 or 3 weeks they've started. So lots of opportunities to be outdoors. Really for inexpensive family entertainment, I mean, just you don't have to go far. It's right here. So
we've got 8 sports starting this fall season that we're in registration for right now.
Okay.
So volleyball, softball, baseball, football, cheerleading, cross country, and soccer. That all of our youth sports are starting up. We'll begin those in August and run them through the fall season. But registration costs. It is a lot of work, but it's really enjoyable. Nothing like playing.
So and now,
am
I right? Like everything is centrally to sign up for things. It's just
all at CatoosaRec.com.
CatoosaRec.com. So if you have younger children or even teenagers, I know they also have a cross country team that started last year.
We do. This will be our 2nd season doing the cross country team. We participate in a league with Dalton on that, and we take turns hosting meets. So it's not all in our county, so there is a little bit more travel associated with it.
Which most parents are used to that, quite frankly, with their team sports. And so I know last year we were able to help a little bit with the cross country as a part of the Run White and Blue. And this year, when you sign up for the Run White and Blue on July 2nd, when you go to CatoosaChamberofCommerce.com/run, there's a place on there to donate to the Catoosa County cross country team.
And that helps us keep registration costs low, and it donates towards any leftover can be used towards a scholarship fee, so we can make sure we're providing playing opportunities for everybody in the county.
It's important. That's right. It's so important. And sports can make a big difference. So one of the things, I've got my little sheet here, and y'all have heard me talk about the chamber leads groups before. I always use Amy Johnson, who works with you, as the leads group person that so we have these groups. They're industry specific. We have 5 different groups, and basically it's business owners and employees, all types, but they're each industry exclusive. So they learn about, there's one banker, one mortgage broker, one real estate agent. They learn about what those folks do, and so when they're out and about, they're basically like walking advertisement. And Amy, I always said when she first joined several years ago, I was like, I'm not real sure this is going to be worth her time, know. And she made those. It's all about relationships, and you're learning that in the county, where everybody wants to help and they want to support what you're doing in the county and what the chamber does and the small businesses do. And so Amy educated this group of people about what Parks and Rec does, and as a part of that, they signed on. They were afforded ways to promote their business for affordable, so they helped to do some movies at the amphitheater and some like the fall festival. A lot of them participate in that. And I always say how I just feel like, she really made use of that community group. for the betterment of giving the small businesses an opportunity, but also to help to promote what Parks and Rec was doing in our community. So if you're ever interested in the Chamber Leads group, again, we have 5 of those. You do have to be a Chamber member to be a part of those, but we'd love to give you some more information. You can call the Chamber office at 706-92, well, I've just forgotten the number, 965-5201. And we'll be glad to give you some more information about the Leads group. And, like I said, you can meet one of the Parks and Rec employees who's still a member of that. I'm going to hit you up while you're here. So we just had a Leadership Catoosa graduation last Thursday. Right. And Amy has done this, and you're new to the county, so I'm going to formally mention it to you now. I'm going to put you on the spot.
It's on my radar.
There you go. So we had 18 graduates that finished a 9-month course. We have different days. So we start off with an overnight kickoff at the Windshape Retreat at Rome, Georgia, at Berry College. And then we have different days. So we have a local government day, a state government day. We take a trip to the Capitol. It's a great community awareness program and leadership. And again, the relationships that you make are amazing, and they last for a long, long time, and people just draw on those. So I've heard over and over again how Leadership Catoosa has made such a difference in people's business and in the community. And so we're taking nominations now, so that class will kick off in September. And if you'd like to know more information about that, you can check on our Chamber Facebook page or our social media accounts, or call the Chamber office at 706-965-5201. Any last minute things about the Makers Market or anything else we need to know? There are booths available.
There are still booths available in the Colonnade. There's food vendor booths available as well, and you can find that application at catoosarec.com. There's also on our website, under the special events tab, a whole page directly related to the Fireworks Fest event, so you can get more information there, as well as a map and some more details about the event too.
So check it out. Catoosa Parks and Rec's doing a great job in our community, and we are so proud. Alex, great to have you here today.
Thank you.
And we'll talk more about the things coming up. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.